Still on my quest for a portable ground mount antenna. Did I find it? Stick around, let's talk about it. So it's another beautiful afternoon. I'm out here at the Morgan Monroe State Forest, and I'm going to do a Parks on the Air activation. So in this video today, I'm going to go ahead and try out a new ground mounted antenna that I've been looking at, and I just got it in the mail the other day. It's the JPC-12 antenna by Chelegance. Now, one of the reasons I like this antenna, and if you can remember from my past video, I'm actually flying out to Las Vegas for a conference, and I'm going to have some time while I'm out there and would like to do some Parks on Air activations. Now that poses kind of a unique thing that none of the parks around there really have trees, not like we do here on the East Coast. So a wire antenna may or may not work. I may or may not have the ability to string one up. And also, because I'm flying, I've got to make sure I can take everything with me in my suitcase. So that means a QRP radio, a small tablet, or maybe just my iPhone, and then some kind of antenna that I can use that I can run ground mounted. Now, one of the parks that I've looked at is actually a historic site. So that actually brings in a new kind of problem into this. And am I going to be able to stab a stake into the ground to mount that? Because that's what this antenna comes with. It's a ground stake that you push in the ground. Not uncommon from a lot of the other portable antennas. One of the things that was also available for this antenna is this nice tripod system that they've got, kind of a ground mounted tripod, and it in itself doesn't weigh that much, and it also fits inside this same bag. So I'm going to go ahead and get this antenna set up. I'm going to go ahead and configure it for 20 meters, get the radio set up, and get on the air. So let's go ahead and do that now. So I'm going to go ahead and try out the tripod base. Now they have made this thing so it actually fits a couple different of their antennas, and they include an adapter in there that screws into the bottom of the feed point or the pole, depending on which one of their antennas that you get. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and I'm going to connect their radio system to the bottom using this adapter on the feed point. And then this just slides into there, and you can use the set screw to lock it into place. So I will say that I'm not a fan of the radio system. It's a novel concept. It's essentially data cable, ribbon cable for a computer. And they've suggested that you can open it up and create like 6 or 9 different radios from this thing. I'm going to go ahead and leave it together. Electrically, I still get the same benefit as having them separated. There is some question whether or not that will create some directionality with the antenna, but I'm not overly concerned about it from this point. So I'm going to go ahead and walk out here just a little ways, get the base part set up, and then we'll go ahead and erect the rest of the antenna. All right, from the feed point that's mounted to the base, there's 4 of these extensions that just screw together. Now, my understanding is this antenna is good for 40 meters, all the way up to 6. And it has an adjustable coil, not much different than like a Wolf River coil or one of the other ones. It's got a slider that goes up and down, and you can dial in a little bit closer to the band. So the other two pieces that come in the kit is an aluminum ground spike, which we're not going to use for this evolution, and then the whip antenna, which fully extends. Now, I would caution, if you're going to use this, I have seen some thicker ones. This kind of reminds me of like the boom box, the TV antennas. If you're old enough to remember those, it's kind of fragile, so make sure you're careful with it. I'm going to go ahead and fully extend it before I screw it into the top of the coil. So like other antennas in this style, you're going to use a combination of the coil and adjusting the length of the whip to make your antenna resonant to the frequency that you want to operate on. So I would suggest possibly doing that on the lower end where this is a little bit thicker and a little more durable. So let's go ahead and get this part connected. So one of the things I like to accomplish whenever I'm doing anything technical is just the KISS method. And that's keep it simple, stupid, or silly, or shithead, I don't know, whichever. But you know, as you can see, this antenna really doesn't take very long to set up. And that is something that I really want in an antenna when I'm out doing POTA activations. I would rather spend less time dicking around with getting my gear set up and spend more time out on the air. And so finding equipment that you can do that with and just keeping it simple. Now, I know there's a lot of people out there that'll tell you, well, you got to do it this way or you got to do it that way. Dude, dudettes, do what you want to do. Have fun. That's the whole point of this hobby. There are a lot of people that really feel like they need to tell you what you should do, but just go out and have fun. That's really the big thing in this. So as I mentioned earlier, I am running the Yaesu 991A. Now this is a little big for POTA, but you know, you can use whatever radio you have. And to power this, I'm going to use the Bilineo 20 amp hour LiPo battery. One other important thing I do have to mention, if you're going to do POTA, you really need to get yourself a fire engine Flynn lunchbox. And not just any lunchbox, not even just a Thomas the Tank Engine or Thomas and Friends, but you have to get specifically a fire engine Flynn one. Keep your bottled water nice and cold. And I guess I should say for the people out there, this antenna I purchased, and I have no relationship with the company that manufactures it. I purchased it from DX Engineering, which is their US distributor, at full price. CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
Whiskey 5, Mike Papa Bravo.
Whiskey 5, Mike Papa Bravo, you are 59 and 2 kilo 4215.
USL 10, you're 59 into Maryland, Mike Delta. Your activation in 73.
All right, thank you for the 59 into Maryland. You have a great evening in 73. CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot.
Kilo Delta 9, Delta Zulu Tango.
Kilo Delta 9, Delta Zulu Tango, you are 59 into kilo 4215.
Roger, WX 5555 here to Wisconsin. Thanks for the part. Good luck, 73.
All right, thank you very much for the 55 into Wisconsin. You have a great evening in 73. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air, November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air from Park Kilo 4215, the Morgan Monroe State Forest. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
W3 Kilo Whiskey Hotel.
Whiskey 3, Kilo Whiskey Hotel, you are 59 into kilo 4215.
USL here 57 into Western Pennsylvania.
All right, thank you very much for the 57 into Western Pennsylvania. You have a great evening and 73.
73. Whiskey 3, Golf Lima Hotel. Kilo Oscar 4, Bravo Victor Bravo.
Whiskey 3, Golf Lima Hotel, you are 59 into kilo 4215.
Thank you, you're 59 in Western Pennsylvania.
All right, thank you very much for the 59 into Western Pennsylvania. You have a great evening in 73.
You too, take care. Kilo Oscar 4, Bravo Victor Bravo.
Kilo Oscar 4, Bravo Victor Bravo, you are 59 into kilo 4215.
Roger, you're 59 Golf Alpha, good signal.
All right, thank you very much for the 5-9 into Georgia. You have a great evening in 73.
Roger, thanks for being out there, 7-3.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo 8, India, Kilo, Oscar.
The India Kilo Oscar station.
Kilo 8, India, Kilo, Oscar, and you're 57, Ohio.
All right, Kilo 8 India Kilo Oscar, you are 5-9 into the Morgan Monroe State Forest, K4215, and I copied your 5-7 from Ohio.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Hotel, India.
Whiskey 4, Charlie Hotel, India, you are 5-9 into Park, Kilo 4215.
Roger, Ned, you're 5-9, North Carolina.
All right, thank you very much for the 5-9 into North Carolina. You have a great evening in 73.
November 4, Uniform Sierra Bravo.
November 4, Uniform Sierra Bravo, you are 5-9 into Park, Kilo 4215.
You're 5-9 into North Carolina, thank you.
All right, thank you very much for the 5-9 in North Carolina. You have a great evening in 73. CQ Parks on the air, CQ Parks on the air. November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Whiskey, Bravo 0, Victor, Zulu, Kilo.
Whiskey Bravo 0, Victor Zulu Kilo. You are 5-9 into Park, Kilo 4215.
QSL, you are 57, 57 in Eastern Iowa, over.
I copied the 5-7 into Eastern Iowa. Thank you very much in 73.
73.
November Whiskey 9 Foxtrot calling CQ Parks on the air and standing by.
Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra X-Ray Hotel.
Kilo Oscar 4, Sierra X-Ray Hotel. You are 5-9 into Park, Kilo 4215.
5-9 here, Nashville, Tim. Thanks for activation.
All right, thank you. You have a great evening in 73.
Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha, November.
Whiskey Delta 4, Delta Alpha, November. Wow. Dan, POTA royalty here. You're 5-9 into Park, Kilo 4215.
Appreciate it. 5 and 5, Golf Alpha. Have a great night, buddy. 7-3.
All right, 73. You have a great evening. Well, I think that was a very successful POTA activation. Altogether, we had 50 contacts. 14 of them I did on 20 meters and got as far east as Italy and Spain. And then I think altogether, most of it was here in the middle continental United States, a lot in Florida, a lot in Texas, some up and around Pennsylvania and a little bit further north. And I did get one station way up in central Canada. So pretty good. I have no complaints with this antenna as it sits right now. Now, as I had mentioned earlier, I do want to go ahead and put some different radials on. So I think this is going to be the antenna for me, unless there's something that comes up between now and then. I mean, it definitely fits size. It's easy to pack. I've got the option of the ground spike or the tripod. My next attempt with this antenna, I'm going to use the Zygu X6100, which is a QRP radio. Probably do some voice and maybe some digital, probably do some FT8 or something. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and get out here. My wife's already been bugging me about dinner and the sun's starting to go down, so I want to go ahead and get this cleaned up. So once again, thank you very much. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your friend. Tim out.